is scored. The Red Rose.
As England are, Amy Cockayne desperate for the ball, hitting the tail again. Great option, ball away, look at that.
Ward to clear. Burn. Oh, she's called the baby rhino, you can tell. There's numbers out on the far side. Roland Aitchison, kill done. On a warning as well. It's been picked by Infante. Did she even need to pass? Oh! On a warning as well. It's been picked by Infante. Did she even need to pass? Oh! Stacey Flula again, straight in over the ball. Really textbook jackal position. Backed up by her mate, just adding a little bit of weight. But as soon as you get into that 13 channel, you've got to have numbers to ball because she's so quick over it. And England are getting caught a little bit short.
That is 3 New Zealand turnovers. Something is working for them.
I think all 3 are going to that 13 jersey as well, so fair play. She said she didn't want to defend. She's defending exceptionally well.
Maliepo there. She's standing at first receiver. Looks like Dement might have pushed out for them. There's Robbins-Retty in that scrum half position, and they just can't hold on. The pressure is feeling. It's England ball. They're going to push it to the far side. There's the pass from Aitchison. Stolen by Woodman. Black Ferns get it back. Don't press the panic button yet. Almost nobody wanted it as Namwu runs into Cleel. Comes back in the end to Maliepo. Kill done. Here comes the Harlequins flyer. Penalty advantage to England this time. Bit of claret there on Les Elder's face as well. She's going to be feeling this one.
Just discipline, isn't it? You've got yourself back into the game. It's a good exit. And you can hear the ref clearly saying offbeat. Les Elder's good enough to know that she's gone straight past the ball there as well. Just leave it, hands off, drive through the ruck.
Advantage straight away for the Red Roses. Infante, Harrison, crossfield kick. Who's coming to put their name on it? Oh, Letiainga versus Thompson. The ball's still rolling. Touchdown by Maliepo. They'll come back for the penalty.
What I'm loving about this England side at the minute is just their intent to play any penalty advantage. You see the referee's arm go out. Infante straight away is looking for Zoe Harrison in the 10 shirt, who is just looking to move it one channel out. I know that time she looked for the crossfield kick, but they're just varying their options, both in line-out attack, in attack across the field, in how they're bringing their backs into the game, and it's wonderful to watch.
It's all coming off the set piece dominance up front, I suppose. I'd love to see Thompson flatten up there. As soon as that referee's arm goes up for advantage, she should be looking for this space out here and flattening up. She was about 10 metres behind that kick, so opportunity gone there.
You have 2 more.
Kendra Coxedge is running back onto the field now, so the Black Ferns are back up to 15. She's desperately running across the field to be there in time for this line-out.
Yeah, only penalty, only PK,
Poppy Cool just making sure everyone's ready, knows what they're doing. Ooh. Slightly more disrupted line-out from England than normal, but they hold. Cornborough. Portsmouth girl. Learn. England almost trying to be too fancy there.
Again, I really like the option. I'd have liked to see Alex Matthews just come a channel wider, because it was almost like they were running into the same hole in that one. Alex Matthews has gone for the latch. Sarah Byrne's seen that the job's done. Maliepo in the 10 shirt coming in to make that tackle.
I mean, there's a place for both of those options in the game, the little pop pass, but I do love Matthews' intent to get on the ball carrier and kind of latch her through that contact.
The England coaches really wanted to see Alex Matthews wearing 6 today. She's been away with the 7s crew. signed a 15s contract now in the build-up to the World Cup. Well, the Black Ferns buy themselves a little bit of space, but it's still going to be England ball.
It's an unbelievable scrum. Poppy Clear wasn't even putting her weight through that. She sat in an armchair waiting for the ball to come out.
Harrison. Aitchison. Nice bit of footwork coming in by Kildan. In the end, the Black Ferns introduce her to the grass. Straight through the middle. Aldcroft. Playing advantage to the Black Ferns. It's a messy ball though. No one knows what to do. Aliapo.
Advantage over.
It's probably everything New Zealand didn't want. Chasing down the far side. The kick through from Harrison. Woodman just really wants to light the touch paper and get away. It's been very well tracked so far by white shirts.
Use it. Stop.
Well, still New Zealand just struggling to find any kind of space to express themselves, but can you do anything but credit England's defence?
You absolutely can't right now. It's relentless. Every single time the Black Ferns are looking at, they are seeing numbers. Every time England get the ball, they're just going with such a fierce tempo. The thing that I want to see now, though, they're starting to get a little bit loose. They're starting to play a little bit too much. You saw the Sarah Byrne offload 10 metres out from the line. There was another one where she's tried to pick and go through the middle. Zoe Aldcroft could have potentially passed. There was a massive overlap, and then on that one, just hold your feet.
I suppose it's a good time for someone like Poppy Clear to realise that they're not completing phases. They're obviously, what I do love is when they turn the ball over, they've got this great hustle to get it back, but they need to complete 3, 4, 5, 6 phases. They need to get through some work. It seems like they're forcing things a bit. And maybe that's down to the scoreboard, who knows?
Here comes that England scrum. It's moving, shipped quickly by the Black Ferns. Flula, right, Letiaina, she can go. And she's off. She's going to be chased down in the end by Rowland. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Wills. The ball is there. Little snatch around the corner. Here's Coxedge. Important tackle there by Matthews. We've got a knock on. And England have the ball. Rowland under quite a bit of pressure to get that one away. They do. And that's the first real bit of intensity and pressure we've seen England put under.
Look at this for a break. Just really slick hands. Letiaina light up. Lovely in and away. Helena Rowland. So good to get back and make the tackle, but Alex Matthews, look at that. Poppy Clear, they've just scrummaged. They're straight in, challenging that breakdown, and that is what I'm talking about when I say how relentless this English defence is.
English ball. Harrison. She's running around everyone. Rowland. Aitchison, Kildan. Dow is there. Still Kildan.
Hand off!
Infante.
There's acres of space out here if they can get the ball to it.
Stop!
They're going to pound away down the far side wing.
Backwards.
Robbins Retty. She couldn't control it. It's almost a catalogue of errors at the moment. Cher Robbins-Retty, this is her debut. She's got a very good work rate, but feeling the pressure of that fern on her chest right now. Quick line out. Dow. Rowland. Aitchison, Kildan, Thompson, Infante, Byrne now. just got that incredible little bit of acceleration when she goes into contact.
No hands, no hands.
Infante just showing her experience there, and they win the penalty.
Correct, no hands.
Clever play by captain, vice-captain there, just waiting, allowing the referee to see what's going on. She said no hands, and they're just pointing out the fact that there's still hands in there. You see again Amy Cocaine, that intent to get the ball, intent to get to the line out. So well drilled, this English side.
Taken cleanly in the air by Aldcroft. They want to keep that one on their feet. The referee says no.
It's really clever play from Black Ferns. The sack at the maul initially, and then because the ball's already been transferred to the back, as that English maul transfers across, it's an offside position because the ball's at the back. So really, really well marshalled.
Still a bit of a tricky corner for the Black Ferns to work their way out. Dylan, you know better than anyone that the try areas at Franklin's Gardens aren't the biggest.
I was going to say that this field is completely flat, but there's a perception that this is a downhill corner down here. So, yeah, it's a dark corner, doesn't get much sun. It's pretty, I mean, we can't say it's boggy down there, but it's hard to get out of.
And Michele Tu'u having to place the ball almost on the line there.
Stay back, no!
I mean,
Well, it looks like
I love the
they're going to go and have a look at this.
One thing about Poppy Cleal is she is so switched on with the law book. If that ball is back over the line, she can just touch it down. There's no offside. Oh, she's stand corrected.
Well, there we go. Offside from England. Therefore, the Black Ferns get the ball.
No, offside.
Sometimes you can look at Poppy Cleal's eyes and just know there is rage underneath.
She's one of those that is very rarely wrong, is our Poppy Cleal. So it probably was a try.
Fascinating interviews that Poppy Cleal has given in the build-up to this match, saying she is a different person on and off the pitch. She says she doesn't mind if people think she's a beep on it. She's a different person off it. Here come the Black Ferns.
5 and number 4.
Oh, warning on both second rows there from England. Both Ward and Matthews in a bit of trouble.
Yeah. And numbers. Scrum.
Well, that's a big call from New Zealand to call for a scrum when you're on your own 22-metre line.
Okay. Yeah.
Really interesting. They're clearly going to run this, because if they call a scrum and then they kick exit, they might as well have just kicked it from the free kick. Potentially a bit of game management, because as we know, this Black Ferns side haven't played together until last weekend in 806 days. Maybe they're going to run the length now. Prove me wrong.
Well, there's the slight movement. It's turning. It's out. In the end, it's going to have to be gathered by Michele Tu'u, so any sort of fancy backs move is going to be slightly delayed.
Use it.
Cox Edge goes back in the end to Maliepo. Now it's Dow. Far side, Cleal. There's the hand straight over the top there from New Zealand, slowing down that ball. They did comment on how quick England's ball was last week. Packer. Cornborough. Oh, advantage as well now to the Red Roses. Rowland has Dow. Now Thompson. Letia Inga also. Bremner in there. Cleal. Harrison. Cocaine. Still Cocaine. Harrison. Big long pass to Packer. She resets the direction. Referee just reminding them they have the advantage. They want to play. Fante just struggling to get the ball there. Ward.
No advantage.
Referee's going to bring it back. And I think they're going to have a little bit of a word here. Let's listen in.
You have 2 minutes penalties, so here you have offside and attacker. Please speak your words. Yeah.
Well, there is the warning. Dylan, you've been an England captain in situations under pressure when the penalties are piling up on you. What do you tell your team when the referee says go and have a chat with the team?
Well, I think this is it's basically pressure from England which is causing the indiscipline, because New Zealand are constantly kind of on the back foot hustling. You know, I was just looking at the attack there from England, really positive in terms of keeping the ball. The only thing is the big pass to the space is not needed because basically it's not engaging defenders. So I'd like to see England keep the ball in the hands, you know, through the hands.
And here they come. Cockayne has it again. Can she go over for a double? Still, Cockayne needs the touchdown. It's a double for the birthday girl. Harlequins. Amy Cockayne goes over, and that is 4 tries and only half a game of rugby played.
Crazy to think, isn't it? This English dominance is rolling on. The tempo that she's getting these lineouts in, the accuracy of those balls, fantastic. She's thoroughly deserving of these 2 tries for me. Again, just really good setup. Potentially England can be a little bit lower, but you see Poppy Cleo trying to work the corner at the front. Alex Matthews leg drive, dragging people through.
Yeah, it's fine.
Really good chat.
Easy peasy there. Tagged on the back of 7 people doing all the work. But no, just the intent from these lineouts, like you're saying, Mo, that you can see clearly what they've been drilled to do. I think Lewis Deacon, for a hard, cold Leicester man, will be smiling in his seat somewhere. Smiling on the inside.
Well, Zoe Harrison perfect with the boot. The Red Roses are playing a pretty decent half of rugby. As the players just slowly make their way off. New Zealand, well, it's going to have to be quite an incredible team talk. They were down by 17 at half-time last week. This time, they're down by an awful lot more. Well, as they make their way down the tunnel, have the consultation. I can tell you the half-time score has been England
Well, let's see what happens in the second half. You can enjoy the final 40 in the company of Dylan, Natasha and Sarah.
Thanks, Lee. Well, New Zealand are out. They've got 40 minutes left to do something, anything, against the Red Roses. Well, here come England. It's been a pretty good job so far. A little bit of business to tidy up. It's not Amy Cockayne's birthday today, everyone. I was given a spreadsheet that said that her birthday was 7/11/96. It was the American way of doing the date of birth, so happy birthday back in July, Amy Cockayne.
And thank you to Justine Lucas for letting us know.
Well, Poppy Cleo couldn't have gone much better for her on her first outing as a captain. Shea Robbins-Retty then gets us back underway. And is gathered by Aldcroft.
Assistant, not release.
Everything that New Zealand didn't want just happened.
Yeah, they will have just had a chat about their discipline in the changing rooms, I'm sure of it. To come out straight away, first breakdown, to give one away, it's not the start that you need.
Interesting how the referee deals with that. Right before the break, the captain was asked to speak to her players as well about discipline. So we'll see how many it's going to take to see maybe another card.
There goes Cleel. Harrison. Aitchison just coming for a little bit of work. Holdcroft gives it to a locking teammate in Ward. Byrne. She looks so ferocious in contact.
Yeah, I love Byrne when she carries like that, decisive, runs with intent, not worrying about passing the ball 1 yard.
Dow out on the far side. Holdcroft once again. Harrison finds the Bristol prop. Oh, still going. Just manages to hit a few shoulders, make those extra yards, and now she's won the penalty.
Really impressive from England. Sorry there, Mo. They've come out, instead of trying to go wide and get round New Zealand, there's a clear intent to go through them by the looks of it. Really flat passes on the gain line, running with intent, good support, resourcing the ball quick. It's a great start to this half.
England 5 penalties to New Zealand's 12. You just saw that stat. Really need to do something about this discipline.
There we go.
Advantage.
You could see there, New Zealand just thinking about holding off there.
Free ball here, advantage. What are we going to do with it?
I do just wonder if the Black Ferns still have fight for this. There's the little kick through from Harrison. It's such a tight area, not enough space. They'll come back for the penalty.
I mean, I know it's a tight area, but is the comms there? Is the communication there? Does everyone else know that that's happening?
If the line-out is not over, yeah?
Apologies, then there was a lot going on there with our referee. Please say that again.
It's a warning.
I was just saying it's a bit like the first half kick to nowhere. There's a great option there, but does everyone else know that that's happening?
I just love this as well from England. Look at the ball transfer. You can see Zoe Holdcroft in there saying that the ball's on her. If she transfers that ball back, that's a penalty against England for the same thing, being offside in front of the ball. So really good work mixing up those line-out options. Zoe Holdcroft having a fantastic game so far.
That was an incredible line-out throw as well, right to the back. England are there. They're over again. It's a hat-trick for Cockayne. And there's some afters here. Well, we had a little bit of discomfort last week at Sandy Park. Poppy Cleel, she said she will never stand back from any sort of confrontation. She will always be there to support and stand by her team.
I know my job, no problem.
It's still a try ultimately.
Really good work again. Just you see that maul just shifting off to the side. Amy Cockayne, fantastic work when to break out. You never want to see your hooker breaking out the back of a maul that's going forward at a rate that this is, but when that decision making is pinpoint perfect like that is, brilliant stuff for the hat trick. She's having an absolutely fantastic game today.
Black Ferns a little bit hesitant in defence there. When you're 5 yards out from your line and you know England are going to maul, you need to have heads in early. I felt that there's 2-3 seconds hitting them ones and twos, not a kind of combined effort there, which, you know, once England got that platform set, there's only one way that they're going.
Do you think that's partly because they keep mixing those options up? So they've done a shift drive, they've done it off the top to Zoe Holdcroft, who set up another maul. They've also peeled off the back. So because of that variation in option, I feel like that's what's tying these New Zealand, these Black Ferns players out, and they don't know what to do. They don't know whether to hit or to just stand off.
It does feel a little bit like we are watching the world order of women's rugby shifting over this last week. For some time, the Black Ferns have had England's mark. They've had the upper hand, but you do just feel with the changes that have happened in England, with the Premier 15s, with the contracts, with how much they've played during the pandemic, they certainly have the upper hand.
Undeniably so. For me, in every aspect of the game right now, the physicality, the tempo that they're playing at, their drills, their forwards, their skill set, everything about this English side.
Here comes Woodman. She's been desperate to run, but look how Dow was just holding her there. Thou shall not pass. Coxedge, Maliepo, Nanwu. Big pass by Robbins-Retty out to the far side. It's Hopapa Barrett. She's still going. It's taken nicely there by Flula.
Love to see a hooker running those wide channels like that. Love it.
Nanwu drops the ball. All that effort from the Black Ferns. But what a run there by Hopapa Barrett down that far side. Remind you of yourself at all there, Dylan?
Can't trust me. I felt very scared in those channels. I made sure I was in the middle of the pitch on their ruck at all times, and I left that to Jamie George and co. But just a glimpse there of what the Black Ferns are capable of. Wide, good set piece launch. Come out wide here to Woodman, then go back wide. Great timing on that pass as well from Hopapa Barrett.
Bye! Set!
It's a better scrum from New Zealand. It got a penalty as well.
No.
That was a big step up for them. They do not want to walk away from this fixture with a 0 on that scoreline.
It would be crushing for them, wouldn't it? This Black Ferns history as well. To come off the back of 2 big defeats and also potentially a 0. Uncharted territory for them.
It's Wills who took that one. There was a warning there, so we're playing advantage to the Black Ferns. They've gone for the crossfield kick. Kildun is there, can't take it cleanly. It's loose as a goose. Flula there with the hack on, but they will come back and there's still a penalty.
No advantage.
Again, for me, just that game management. Yes, the advantage is on, but I don't think anyone was really set for that kick. Also, if you're going to go cross-field, it's better to work in towards the 15.
She's gone quickly. Coxedge passes out to the far side. Hopapa Barrett.
Boys out.
England have to defend for absolutely everything here if they want to hold on to that 0.
No hands. No hands.
Packer with the warning.
Back 5.
Coxedge just sends the forwards on.
Advantage.
Another advantage. It could be another card. This time it could be a card for England. Coxedge to Maliepo. Happy to release this time.
No advantage.
And they're going to come back. Let's listen in.
It's a free infringement. Yeah, here. It's number 5. Is off feet and plays the ball.
Just a warning. Number 5 is Abby Ward.
Doing what all good locks do, making a nuisance of themselves. So they've got to be careful here. There's a few now, in this area of the field. I know the discipline issue has been with the Black Ferns, but if England are consistently giving them penalties away here, they might look at a card themselves.
I just love the clarity that England are playing with at the minute, though. You heard the referee say no hands to Marley Packer. Straight away she releases. You then hear her say 5 back foot. I don't know if you caught it on the ref mic, but Sarah Byrne says, Abby, take a step, which is telling her teammate, if she hasn't heard, the referee's name checking you. It's brilliant work in those areas.
Coxedge gets it out. Letty Ayinga. Back to Maliepo. Here's Flula. Robbins-Retty. Here's Woodman. And Woodman goes over could score a try. She does in the corner. Right place, right time. They are celebrating. And that's because there's no longer a 0 next to New Zealand on the scoreboard.
How important is that for them as well to come away with points? The first time that they've been camped in England's 22. England on the receipt of quite a few penalties, needed to keep their discipline. And it's just too easy for New Zealand. A little outside break and just hands across the line. England caught a little bit too short, needed to make their hits. And a little walk in for Woodman in the end.
That was Portia Woodman's 23rd try for the Black Ferns on her 17th cap. That one just died before the post, so it remains at just 5. Black Ferns just able to stretch England there. Portia Woodman hasn't played a huge amount of 15. She did a little bit more during the pandemic when they weren't quite sure what was going on with the 7s. She plays at Northland, but she was also named in the Super Rugby All-Picky sides this week. She's been named as one of the Chiefs players.
Forward pass.
Bit of a mistake there then from the restart from the Black Ferns. Not what they wanted, giving territory straight away back to England. If you haven't heard of Super Rugby All-Picky, it's going to be a tournament that's run in New Zealand in March next year. It's not quite as expansive as the Premier 15s. It's more of a... That's the equivalent of that New Zealand is called the Farah Cup, but it's going to be sort of an intense tournament over a month between 4 sides. It's really been billed as their warm-up to the World Cup to really see who the Black Ferns are as Dow comes away now. They're going to come back. The referee's whistle has gone. Dow still hasn't quite realised. Referee is still there waiting.
It's a really lovely set play. You see out the back option of Zoe Harrison. Helena Rowland just goes the little feint on the outside, inside ball. Oh, it looks... That's a harsh call for me, but I'm sure Abby Dow won't mind. She's still going to have the Instagram picture of diving in front of all of those home fans with them on their feet.
Crouch! It's from England! Bang!
You heard the words coming up from England. They know they're under a little bit of a pressure here at the scrum. Cox Edge just fumbled at the back there. Referee happy it was backwards as Maliepo now comes forward. Comes back to Dement. Hasn't made touch. She's found Kildun. Woodman right up in her face. Matthews. Comes back towards Infante, who finds Thompson. Harrison. Matthews. England might be deploying some of their bench players soon, as Byrne now has it.
Tackle moving!
Infante wants to go quickly, and she does. She's got space down that far side. Referee happy that they were 10. Ward. Still Ward. Great run by the lot. Big pass of the ball, Kildun. She gets the final pass to Dow. Ooh, big bump there on Dow. Not going to be given.
Love that from Leanne Infante, just trying to keep the tempo high. Keep the ball playing, asking the referee on the floor, were they back 10, trying to get the extra 10 metres for another penalty, but really good work from New Zealand. You can see that there's a bit of a fire in their belly at the moment.
1-2-5.
really good period from Red Roses there.
And 6.
Just keeping the ball, you know, we've spent the last 5 minutes up here. And I suppose that variation that we're seeing from lineouts, Infante there, just variation, you'd expect the Red Roses to slow that down, pick it in the corner, go for a maul, but keeping the Black Ferns on their toes, guessing, keeping the tempo high. But I think, again, just the direct sort of carrying, the variation, the balls out the back, we're seeing a really kind of balanced game, or last 5 minutes from the Red Roses just there. I love it when Sarah Byrne carries the ball.
She should not be able to step the way that she did just now, by the way.
I mean, I just love it when tight heads scrummage, but when they carry like that, unbelievable.
She's a proper athlete, is Sarah Byrne.
Diamond.
Sarah Byrne was the real young bolter in the 2017 World Cup squad. Really made a name for herself. What a take by Infante! The Black Ferns totally asleep to that. And this scoreline just keeps growing for the Red Roses.
Probably the easiest try she's going to score in her career, but really good awareness at the back of the line out. She's been brilliant from the back, just putting pressure on the whole time. New Zealand lineouts have been so much better today. However, Barrett just getting that one wrong, nobody up in the air to even compete. And that's crushing for this Black Ferns side. They look like they had a little bit more life in them after that try. Forward pass from the kick-off, and then England have just been camped in their half the whole time.
I sympathise with Hope Upper Barrett there. There's confusion in that line out, and especially when you're 5 metres out from your own line, that's one place you don't want confusion. But what I don't understand is the tempo element of it. They do not need to rush getting out of that corner. You can make a huddle, get clarity in your ball, go win the ball. Winning the ball is your job first and foremost. So, you know what? A little bit of kind of leadership around that line out there needs to be taken.
Should also say that Infante's coming back from what was quite a nasty broken ankle over the summer. She didn't play any club rugby as she was coming back from it. You know, she was on the bench last week.
It's a proper nines try that as well. Hardly any work, just sniffing around, poaching.
And a huge smile afterwards in the way that only scrum halves can. You know about that, Mo?
Not sure what either of you are talking about.
Use it!
Should also mention that Zoe Harrison getting that conversion. She has been perfect so far with the boot this afternoon. Once again, the Saracens women playing her part to perfection. She's played in quite a few Premier 15s finals. Saracens won a couple with them, but she really, I do feel she's coming of age at the moment in a white shirt. There's the change there in at hooker for New Zealand. It's Takura Ngata-Ringamate who's on the field now. Cox edge.
Sorry.
Kelly too. Maliepo, nice step from her. Dement. Or just forced it. Still coming.
I was about to commend England's defence here. You see them all on their toes bouncing. You can hear them. You know, the barometer of energy is I suppose, the voice. You can hear them from here. And then Captain Cleo kind of shoots out of the line and makes a bit of a dogleg there. And then the Black Ferns go through. But people either side of her cleaning up after her, force an error, which was great.
Marley Packer just making her way off the field there. She's put in another big shift, but we get to see coming onto the field now the regular England captain in Sarah Hunter, and you have to say she's not been on the field. It is wonderful to see how England have managed without her.
Yeah, definitely. Across the board, they're so well drilled at the moment. They know the line out before they're even going in. They've got so much time together to work on these little skills, to work on how they're playing, where they're playing, and the leadership group really is shining through at the minute. Full credit to the coaching staff on that.
Black Ferns, looking at the scoreline at the moment, will be a little bit worried because we talked about a lot of records being broken last week when England won 43-12 as Simon Middleton just sends the messages down about a few more replacements. It's going to be an even bigger winning margin if it remains as it is, and it could be more tries as well.
Yeah, and his halftime interview as well, talking about how he wants the substitutes to come on and raise the tempo and raise the intensity. It's just music to English fans' ears, and if you're a Black Fern at the minute, it's just absolutely brutal, trying to stop the onslaught.
Cleo. Harrison just giving England that breathing space, taken by Woodman. Robbins-Retty. Back towards this near side. You can see Simon now on the field. Oh, Robbins-Retty, she'll feel that one in the morning. Huge hit going in there. Bit of afters going on between Coxedge and Dow. Wills. Coxedge just desperately trying to get that ball quickly, struggling to get her hands to it. Michele Tu'u, advantage now coming to the Black Ferns.
No advantage.
Between the 15 and the 5, 17 white. Push off the ball.
17. Push.
Well, there we go. It's given against Hannah Bottoman. New Zealand not in a rush to take this. They're happy to build the platform. If they do take something away from this match, it has been an improvement in their set piece.
Yeah, absolutely. And also their breakdown, which are two things that were highlighted in the week that they were looking at. So they can definitely take some positives away from it. But how do you begin to match this England side at the moment? As I mentioned earlier, they're just dominating every single aspect of the game. And they're hungry for it. They're so hungry for it. I'm looking down now. The ball's not in play. The time's off. Zoe Allcroft is marshalling her troops. She's nominating. She's telling everyone where to go.
Substitution.
Teammate of Mo's at Gloucester Hartbury in the Premier 15. Scarborough girl has a little knitted doll of Johnny Wilkinson. Have you seen it, Mo?
I did not know that, but I will be finding that when she finally gets out of camp and comes home.
It's in a Toulon strip. I have had a little shot of it. Oh, what a take by Infante! She's going to be hunted down by Woodman. What a tackle by Woodman. Didn't just deal with the scrum half, but dealt with her to the side of the pitch.
We were speaking about nines poaching. Great awareness here.
Yeah, please.
It's poor from Coxedge, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
She sees her in the eye line and still throws the pass. That's one as a 9. You've got to just have awareness on that. Infante's been doing that brilliantly all game, but what about that for a tackle?
Captain?
Just picked her up and ran her 5 metres to the touchline.
Captain, yes? Yeah.
Just listening to our referee here.
You're number 9 diving on the player, so it's a penalty.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I have to say, Kendra Coxedge has had quite a bit of afters at every breakdown she's been involved in. It's not too much of a surprise.
I think it's just frustration for her. When the breakdown is being absolutely battered all game long, as a scrum half, it's so hard to get yourself into the game because you're constantly having to worry about what's coming through.
Gap, please. Gap.
She wanted to play the ball quickly. Leanne Infante, as all good scrum halves do, didn't let the ball go.
I do like watching the nines. It's like the game within the game. None of them give the ball to each other. They all throw it on the ground. England going back here to what they know best.
Are they going to do it again? They're driving for the line. There's white shirts and there's a try. The Black Ferns do not have any answers. They're loving it at Franklin's Gardens. It looks like they're going to build up towards the 50, and it's Lark Davis. It's all about the hookers today.
mean, to be fair, it is the role of the hooker. The last one to the ball, I suppose, and I suppose the transfer of getting the ball to the back of that ball, and all the hard work is done at the front there, turning that corner. Lark Davies got a nose to the line, just as Amy Cockayne. But yeah, again, just finding the basics and doing them brilliantly, and finding something that's working, and just being ruthless with it. They're just going for the jugular here. I love it.
And there's the conversion. There's the angle. That was Lark Davies of Loughborough Lightning, driving towards the line and doing what she does at her club week in, week out.
Yeah, she's brilliant at flopping over those try lines at the back of the wall, is Lark Davies. But just to echo Dylan's point, what I love about this England side as well is they're ruthless, but in past years they haven't necessarily had the variation in their game that they've got at the moment. At line out the variation, in attack the variation, their kicking variation as well. All of it is just coming to the fore at the moment, and it's very pleasing to watch if you're an English fan.
Well, they've made more changes, New Zealand. One of them that has come off is Kendra Coxedge. Just trying to up the pace a little bit. Bremner. It's Ariana Baylor who's on now, taken on by Mikieli Tu'u. Baylor gives it back, another new face. It's a debut for Amy Rourke. She's wearing 18 today.
Flat.
Baylor manages to find Itunu.
Ball is available.
Baylor thinks that she can go on her own. She's 24 years old, Ariana Baylor. Made her FCP debut when she was just 16. Horheffer, who's on the field. They try to get it to Woodman, but did McKenna touch that? We saw a yellow card for something very similar in the first half. Will they look at it?
Time off. Yeah, 23.
Well, the Black Ferns like it. Sarah McKenna's not been on the field very long, and she's going to have to go off again.
23.
It's hard to watch that for Sarah McKenna. Gutted that she doesn't get longer run out, but it's exactly the same decision. You can't swing an arm at a ball when you're that close to the try line.
14.
Well, she did put two arms up, and you can see the frustration on her face, but it is going to be New Zealand who've opted for the line out.
14.
And England just making another change here. Langi Tuima is coming on, and it's Holly Aitchison who's coming off. Great 2 weeks for Holly Aitchison, who only made her debut last week. New Zealand get the ball. They're trying to do to England what has been done to them many times today, 4 times in total.
Side entry.
Penalty advantage then. Black Ferns ball. Maliepo sends it to Woodman. She can't take. Rebbins Rotti waiting out then to Flula. Flula will finish. The Olympic champion touches down. She wanted more ball in hand. It's taken a while, but she gets it in the end.
One thing New Zealand have done incredibly well is when the opportunity's on, especially from those driving moors, is just go hands. Really slick passing, ball out in front. Little dummy switch, that first ball not quite to hand. Woodman on the out, needed to straighten on that one, but really good pickup. You can see the intent to get the ball wide. Lovely little goose step on the pickup from Robbins-Retty, and then a fantastic finish in the end.
Yeah, great finish. It's just looking at England's D there, the back line, they're all stepping from outside to in. And obviously, to recover from that and then to push off your inside foot to get back out is a lot of hard work. So some of their defensive alignment probably needs to look at there. But again, looking at the forward sort of defensive maul, giving away a penalty there. The ball, it's a sin. It shouldn't come out once you're giving away that penalty. You're basically giving away a free ball.
Chance to see Patricia Maliepo then lining up this kick at goal. Both shots they've had at goal, the Black Ferns, they've just died slightly in front of the post, haven't quite had enough distance on them. Maliepo involved in the opening stages there of that try, and they dealt with it well when it was a bouncing ball on the ground. A very happy Stacey Flula.
Let's go.
I know it was her birthday this week and they celebrated that in the Black Ferns camp. That one I'm definitely confident on. I remember that England are currently playing with just 14 women on the field now. They've conceded 1 try so far. I'll tell you what, from our commentary position, you can just hear the intensity of the Black Ferns has increased a couple of notches. Rule, Canterbury prop, taking it forward. Auckland's Maliepo back down the line. It's Carla Horhepper, one of those World Cup winners from 2017, getting involved, getting her hands on the ball. Horhepper also won the World Cup in 2010 as well, as Woodman tries to find a little bit of space. Big hits there on Horhepper. Welcome to Smash Palace.
No.
More hits coming in. Bottomman getting involved. New Zealand going backwards. Look at that. What a penalty won by England.
Brilliant play.
19
2
on 50.
absolutely massive hits and backed up straight away. Zoe Allcroft in leading the charges for the counter ruck.
19 on 50.
Fantastic work.
Last person you want to be running into is Tuima, one of the biggest sort of players out there, and then followed up with Bottomman. Great couple of shots there, good effort.
No. You play.
Play on, play on.
Well, England have missed their touch there.
Stay!
Black Ferns send it back. Harrison gathers. Infante. Aldcroft. Infante again. Rowland, crossfield kick. Dow is there. Woodman will take. Milan Mills slowed her slightly. It's down in the end to Matthews to actually deal with the problem.
Anding.
They're taking it again quickly here, New Zealand. Rule sent into heavy traffic. This is certainly a match where there will be bruises both now and more in the morning. The referee has given it as a knock-on. England have the ball.
Knock-on advantage.
This is ferocious rugby.
Advantage over.
Not gone out of play.
No! Stop!
Rowland. She's had that one. There's no one at home. The foot chase begins.
50-22.
Rowland's chasing her own ball. Comes out of play on this near side. The territory battle is won by the Red Roses.
9.
This was the kick then from Rowland. Woodman sort of looked back over her shoulder. Big smiles from her. Helena Rowland, 22 years old, still only her 8th cap. She is bossing as Elder gets that ball moving as quickly as possible. Horhepper to Shay Robbins-Retty, almost falling over her own feet. I think she's injured herself. Could be cramp.
Ball is out.
Bottomman. You can see that. Zoe Harrison unhappy with that. McDonald is on the field now as well, playing scrum half for England. We didn't get to talk much last week about Claudia McDonald when she actually got her start. It does look like it's a bit of cramp there for Robbins-Retty.
Let's go.
Claudia McDonald, she didn't put a foot wrong last week at all. England play a very different brand of rugby to how she plays at Wasps, and she took her opportunity.
Yeah, she really did, and it was great to see. She's had to bide her time in that shirt, and she didn't put a foot wrong, as you said. Her passes were out in front. She had really good tempo on the ball.
She's an unbelievable athlete, and the sort of pace that she plays with is and her skill set as well. Little offloads, getting the ball away from the ruck really quickly. And I suppose it's England are guilty of having so many options at 9, being able to slot Infante back in there this week. I actually felt sorry for Claudia McDonald not being able to start this weekend, but hey ho, Simon Middleton, he's I suppose got that decision to make, and he's what a pleasure when you've got 2 great 9s.
Well, as the Mexican wave is going round, it's a good time to ask you, Natasha Hunt, who is your player of the match?
I think there's been some tough conversations up in commentary. I think there's a few people that have put their hands up, but notable mentions, Alex Matthews and Zoe Allcroft. They have been absolutely amazing in the engine room all day, putting in the graft. Zoe's work at the line out again, just fantastic, but there she is on screen, taking her chance. We talked about the fact that she was always dipping in between starting and finishing, and over 16 line-outs hit. They're 100% on their ball. The accuracy, the speed and tempo that she played with, just fantastic from Amy Cocaine, and a hat-trick as well, so congratulations to her.
Hat-trick and player of the match. It feels like a birthday. Right then, Hohecker on the ball.
So I had no influence in that decision as well.
Woodman back inside. Maya Kawana Kolani Roos is on as well. That's a debut for the Auckland player. Pushing forwards, still New Zealand ball.
No advantage.
I feel
ball
like
is going to come back.
We've seen a glimpse of the Black Ferns that we want to see. You know, I think the bench that they've unloaded has added a huge sort of impact, especially in the carry defensively. There seems to be a lift of energy, but it's just all a little bit too late, unfortunately, for them.
Speaking of 9s as well,
We have
I think Baylor adds such an intensity when she comes onto the field. Coxedge is unquestionably a brilliant leader for this side. She has got over half the caps of the games that this Black Ferns team has played. Like, she is brilliant for them. She's the heartbeat for them. But I do really, really like what Ariana Baylor is bringing to this side. The tempo, the intensity that she's bringing off the bench.
Well, our referee at the moment, Aurelie Grosselou, is actually just going to go and look at something on the big screen. So that is what the stoppage in play is. There's also a few running repairs going on as well. They're just trying to find the bit of footage that she actually wants to see. She doesn't want to look at herself on the screen much longer.
Just give me a second.
Here we go.
There it is. No.
I think they might be trying to see if there's a trip.
yes for me.
Well, I'm not sure if this is actually the piece of footage that they want to see.
Number 22.
Check, please.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The one from my review. The one from my review, please. Can you send the one from my review?
Well, the ball was taken forward there. We mentioned Carla Hohecker before.
22 on the line.
She's 36 years old now. She has been around the block. She's done pretty much everything now in a Black Ferns shirt.
Sorry, Aurelie.
Aurelie
It's
Grosselou.
coming.
I've had enough of looking at herself.
You don't show me the right angle.
Of course, we've still got Sarah McKenna in the sin bin at the moment as well.
Yeah.
Worth mentioning, you can just see around the edge of the Red Roses shirts right at the top there that there's a little bit of a thorn detailing. This is a
Okay,
England shirt
go.
It's the
Stay
first
with your
time the
penalty.
women
It's
have
okay,
all
sorry.
had their
They
own
won't
bespoke
show it.
shirt. It's
Sorry.
made for them. It's to
Where is
fit
it?
for women, and it's got its own design as
Your
well.
penalty. It's 40 meters.
It's a contact.
It's coming.
with
It's
the
coming
leg.
now. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming now.
Well, this is what the
Yeah,
television
it's a
match
penalty
official
for you.
actually wanted
Yeah.
to see.
It's 22. We have a contact with the leg. Yeah, it's only Piqué. Where is it?
Well, it's a penalty against Langui Tuima.
35 meters. 35.
I don't think there's anything in that. I think a good tackle technique is planting your lead shoulder, lead foot at the same time. So, do you know what? Tuima likes a big hit. Maybe just mistimed that. I don't think there's anything more to it, though.
Scrum.
Well, we might have a little bit of rugby breaking out soon is the good news, folks. I'm going to restart with a scrum. And quite a few personnel changes in those packs. Both of the benches have been pretty unloaded.
Bind. Set.
Ball is in, taken quickly by Baylor. Maliepo sees Hohepa. Taken at really close range there by Maliepo. Baylor, bouncing ball to Elder. Black Ferns captain. Akieli Tu'u. Nanwu. She's had a good day at the office. Really helped out that Black Ferns line-out. They tried to kick that one through. Hohepa couldn't connect though.
Knock on and offside.
And it's going to be a Red
Knock on,
Roses ball.
offside.
Now, this has been scrappy rugby over the last few minutes. There's no two ways about it. If I ask you first, Dylan, how
Knock
do you
on
just
and
try and
offside.
tidy things up
No,
when you've been
and
in these
offside, so
situations?
it's
There's been
penalty, yeah.
stoppages, there's been changes, there's been plenty of consternation. How do you get your team to focus?
Good question. With 5 minutes to go and almost 50 points on the board, but I think it just goes back to what we talked about in the first half. It's about completing a defensive set without giving away a penalty. Forcing an error, forcing
On
a
the
knock
line.
on, completing an attacking set, getting through 7-8 phases of play, and not forcing things. So we'll see how the girls go now.
McDonald. Hunter. Oh, Hunter there. Just a little bit of a touch there. Couldn't quite control. Sarah Hunter there, just slightly shaking her head there. More in frustration. And that's the announcement going around the stadium that Amy Cockayne is the player of the match. 59 caps now for Amy Cockayne. Going very well.
She really is. She's brilliant to have in and around the team as well. As Dylan mentioned earlier, she doesn't have a smile very often, but you know that she just absolutely loves the work that she does.
This thing with us front rowers, we're smiling on the inside, Look at what we've got to do. Look at this. Imagine smiling in that.
Botman just about managed to hold that one. Woodman goes in to do a little bit of scrum half work. Here comes Dow. She's going to hand off Woodman. Abby Dow still flying down the near side. Brilliant work by Dow. What a finish. That's now 21 tries in the white shirt for the Wasps wing. And the smile says it all.
Absolutely love that from Abby Dow. Look at this from Poppy Cleo though. Targets the ball, just knocks it down like stealing sweets straight away. Has the ability to scan, sees her flyer on the outside, and there isn't many better sights than Abby Dow flying down the wing. She has been in ridiculous form for the last 3 years. She's getting better and better every time she's on the field. But my heart goes out to this Black Ferns side. This isn't the Black Ferns that we know and love. Seeing Portia Woodman just staying down on her knees on the touchline, like, what do I do next? It is crushing for them, but you cannot take anything away from this England side.
Well, as Harrison knocks that over, here is a statistic for anyone who's followed their women's rugby for a while. No side has ever scored more than 50 points against the Black Ferns, ever.
Do you know what? They'd have had so much talk in the week leading into how they come back out, how they attack this game, how they go about their business, the pride that they have in this shirt, and it's just hard because there are no answers at the minute. This England side, as I've said a few times, are just dominating in every single aspect. And it's not through lack of effort or anything else. The scary thing for the rest of the world is there's so many more opportunities that England aren't taking as well.
I mean, with a year to go to the World Cup, we said it'd be big for them to turn it round in a week, but with a year to go to the World Cup, can the Black Ferns catch up, or are England just streets ahead? Not just ahead of New Zealand, but you have to say the majority of the world, they have some close contests with France, but they've had their number for a few years.
For me, that's the interesting one, seeing how this New Zealand side go to France next week and seeing the result of that game. That will be the deciding factor. If France can do the same to this Black Fern side, then I think we've got a two-horse race at the moment. Also, England are facing Canada next week. They've got USA the week after. Loads of those girls are playing in the Allianz Premier 15s at the moment. So are they improving those two nations by having the girls over in this league?
Here comes Flula. Someone's got to tackle her out to Woodman. Is she going to finish this off? Oh, huge tackle coming in on Woodman. I think the try has been given. An incredible tackle on Woodman, but she finished the job. I don't think they're going to go and check this. They're happy. That ball was grounded. It was Flula with the break and Woodman. Sarah McKenna came in first, and it was Lydia Thompson who came round the side. I think the touch judge was just in the right place.
Yeah, she was. I thought it was held up. I was watching in anticipation on that replay. Brilliant defensive covering from Lydia Thompson. She's come all the way from the other wing to try and make that hit. And just look at this England side now. Every single one of them is on the line ready to chase this kick. That for me is the statement of intent of them going forward.
No conversion yet for the Black Ferns in the fixture. Will they get one? Right then, the Red Roses, they're still number one in the world. The masterclass is complete and the Black Ferns' troubles have just deepened. It has finished England 56, New Zealand 15. It's hard to stress how significant these two matches back-to-back, these two wins over the Black Ferns are not just to England, but to world rugby, and how women's rugby is going to have to change if the world is going to keep up with the Red Roses.
Absolutely. You've seen these full-time contracts come into play for England since 2017, and you can just see what it means to be full-time, the difference in the landscape between these two sides who have attritionally always battled, had really, really close battles against each other. The rest of the world need to do something about it, otherwise it's a one-horse race at the World Cup.
Dylan, you know a lot about New Zealand and how they feel about rugby. How will they be feeling right now?
There's obviously so much pride and mana in their shirt, so they'll be hurting a lot here. But I'll just so caution to the wind. A year is a long time in rugby, and